Hi, welcome back to the channel. This week it's one I'm super excited about, and that's because Steinberg have finally added freeze in the key commands list. So if we go down and have a look at the options, we have some freeze MIDI here, more freeze MIDI, that's in the quantize, freeze automation, but then here, freeze selected tracks. This is the one I'm interested in for today. So let's put a key command on so we can test it. There are two. So there's freeze selected tracks. That's with selection of the criteria or parameters that you want. But then we have the second one, which is the current settings. So you define them first, and then it will always use that default for the second one. So to test it, first we'll do the initial one. I've just put it to Control F for now. So let's assign that. And let's see what it does. So when you do a audio channel, you select the tail size. I always like to leave it at 5 seconds, so let's keep it that way. And then with MIDI, you have the options for, again, tail size, but also whether you want to include the inserts and to disable the instrument. So they're the settings that I want. They're the ones I typically use. So let's do OK for that. And now it has frozen the track. You can see that the serum is orange here, and the inserts have been disabled here. So that is good. This is what we want. Now that we've defined them with current settings, we can continue to use this second one now. It will automatically apply those parameters that we chose. So let's swap this one now to default settings, and let's do it on here. And it should automatically freeze without asking any questions. There we go. It took a little while because it has a few plugins on it. Girlfoss, for example, is a bit of a resource hog, so that's why. So, we can prove that it works. That's start, but I want to take it further. Actually, let's just discuss this as well. When you do unfreeze now, you can now delete the freeze files, or you can keep them. So it's essentially a way of rendering it, which is quite a nice feature. So let's delete them, because that was just a temporary test. The other one I did earlier was this violin. Let's get rid of that one also. Again, we can delete. But what I want to do is, as I said, take it one step further, and that is in the macros. So let's go up into here to Project Logical Editor, set up. Now we want to find a color that I had. So let's just do, doesn't really matter, Atmos color. So this is the one that I have set up to change, well, as it says, the Atmos. So if I do Alt 1, 2, 3, or 4, if you look at this Get On With It track here, it will change. So 1 is for kick and bass, 2 is for percussion, 3 is for leads, and 4 is for Atmos. So you can see it's already in this kind of whatever color, beigey, orangey color you call it, which is under Atmos, whereas the leads are under purple. So what I want to do is set freeze color. This we know works, so container type is equal to track, property is selected, yeah, and then we want to define the color. So I don't actually know yet. Let's have a look. What color do we want for freeze? Obviously a blue would be good. That's a nice one. That's a bit too close to what I already use. This one, I like this one. 78. So we can choose it here. Color 78. So then we can save it, and then if we do apply, this should change, this violin should change to blue. And indeed it does. So, good start. But now what I want to do is go back into our key commands here. And we want to do a new macro. Freeze, we're going to call it. We want to search for freeze. Set freeze color, that's one of the ones we want. So we're going to add that to here. And we also want the actual freeze, which is the one with current settings. So we're going to add that also. We don't want the color first. We want, well, I guess it doesn't matter, but logically we want to freeze it first, and then we want to do the color. Then here, if I can do freeze, we need to find this macro, which is under here. We're going to assign this one to Control F. It's already being used, yes, we know that. So let's do OK. So now that we have that set up, let's do Control F and see if it does what we want. We want this track to change blue, and then we also want it to freeze the instrument and the inserts. Bingo, orange, and the inserts have been disabled. This is perfect. Job done, and a huge time saver that will be. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye bye.